G'day amigos and welcome to the For Diego's Hot Topic. I'm Rodrigo Rodriguez and with me is Carlos Alberto Diego, Vinny Venezuela and Warren Diego. Well, with the season finished pretty much before the finals, the home and away season of the Hyundai A-League for 2012 finished, we need to ask the question with the, big hoopla at the start of the season with Harry Kewell coming to Melbourne Victory and Brett Emerton coming to Sydney FC. The question needs to be asked with Victory not even making the finals and Sydney just making the finals. Was it worth it? Was it worth the investment of getting those two all-time greats back to the Hyundai A-League?
No.
Whoa.
Clearly, no, it hasn't been. I mean, I don't see that there's thousands of people more going to the game. I don't think that they're changing the game on their own backs. Harry Kewell's had a fair season, but in the midst of the mire and the poorness of Victory, he hasn't risen much further above the pack than the rest of them. I just don't think that they've been as effective as what I may have thought. Maybe the answer is that the competition's a little bit harder than they thought, and as such, they were never going to be starring. But as for the hype at the start of the season and what they do, the answer's been absolutely not.
Are your kids up doing homework till about 2 a.m? Are you ever happy? Are you ever happy? Look, he doesn't know what he's talking about. As far as I'm concerned, I reckon both of them have been well worth the effort. I'm so thankful they've come back with a little bit of match fitness still in those legs and they can still show us what they can do. They are quality on the field. They pass the ball. More often than not, it's a delight to watch them pass the ball. Emo, today, the most recent game, the last game against Newcastle, was a gun. Like, just showing the way they think it through, the way they do what they need to do. Very reliable plays. Both teams are better for having them on the field.
Now, Warren, I contend, I'm pointing to the camera, I'm talking to you, I contend that we wouldn't have had a King of Moomba that's a footballer if it wasn't for Harry Kewell. Of course, someone like Brett Emerton, he's the ambassador to community programs throughout Australia now. It's more than just what they do on the field. You can't expect 33-year-olds plus, probably going on to 34-year-olds. You can't expect them to absolutely dominate games, even though they have at times, especially Harry Kewell at different times for Melbourne Victory. I think he's been fantastic on the ground, even more so than I thought at the start of the year. I was more hopeful of his marketing influence and his selling and promoting in the game, which he has done beautifully. You might be saying that you haven't seen any discernible differences in the attendances at games, but certainly the focus on A-League football with the commercial radio stations, the commercial TV stations, all the the non-sporting magazines, all the fashion magazines and so forth, they have Harry Kewell in his underwear all the time, and I think that I applaud that, and I think he's bringing A-League into the mainstream because of it.
Well, the ratings on Fox Sports have been phenomenal. Apparently, the best ever. We're led to believe. So, and I think the Emerton and Kewell factor has really given something to the Hyundai A-League this year, and hopefully will continue to drag other players that may not be getting a run every time, but are still very good Australian players back to the A-League. So I think it's been a fantastic coup for the A-League.
I was going to say, I reckon that for a player in the A-League to play alongside Harry or Brett would just be a really special opportunity, and for the younger players as well as for the guys that have been around the block, just to be amongst them, I reckon would be such a cool thing.
I was touched too when a Sydney sider wore the Moomba crown himself too. I was touched by that myself. But I thought we were talking about performance, and
we're talking about whether
for Brett Emerton,
they have been a plus for the A-League.
Oh well, the Brett Emerton and their team scraped through the final week, and Harry Kewell on the back of a star-studded team. A team that you said at the start of the year was the best ever amalgamation and coming together of players you've ever seen in the A-League.
Yes, but Warren, when Kewell played for Liverpool, they didn't necessarily win things either.
We did actually win something pretty big.
I know. The last few years of Kewell, come on.
You can talk it all you want, though. You can talk in circles all you want there, Warren. We all know, and you can't deny, Harry Kewell's had a good year. He's had a good year. Brett Emerton's had a good year. It's not their fault. Yeah, it's not their fault that their sides have not been performing on a week-to-week basis. They haven't been coached well.
As leaders of the team, it's not their fault.
It's not their fault at all. They can only do what they can do in a team game now, Warren. I know you're an individual. For you, there is no team in team. It's more I in team.
Oh, that's right.
For you spelled team with an I in it, because it's all about you and it's not about the team. Now, Harry Kewell has been fantastic, by way of not only being the individual that actually plays good football, but he's been very, very good, as Rodrigo said, for the young kiddies that are playing.
Yeah, they've come on so well at the victory this year, absolutely.
Jimmy Jeggo's
just
been
amazing.
fantastic.
They've been great.
Rojas is starting to play some good footballs, and it was a couple of weeks ago when he scored a goal, or he set one up for Harry Kewell. And Harry didn't even celebrate. He went straight to little Rojas there and just patted him on the head and said, "Thank you very much, because that was your goal."
You could be like me one day, son.
Exactly. He probably whispered, "Next time, pass it sooner."
At the risk of dragging out this hot topic, Carlos, the next question that needs to be asked, which is hot topic probably B, has the lustre for next season, kind of worn off a little bit? So will the allure of Harry Kewell and Brett Emerton in the A-League next year have the same kind of attraction for fans and television viewers?
But that's. I mean, you don't need that. I mean, the idea is the game is finally. You bring these people, on board. You bring the star players, the marquee players from overseas, all the big coaches. You bring them for that wow factor to get the attention. But the game has to stand on its own 2 feet at some stage. And you can't keep on hoping that because Harry Kewell's here that suddenly it's going to be this explosion of excitement. He's brought that. The attention, now the game has to stand up its own 2 feet. So you can't blame Harry Kewell if attendances go down next year, because the game has got to look after itself at some point, Warren.
Yeah, well, I think by the time that Harry Kewell plays Father Christmas in the Maya windows, I mean, that'll get the hype going in the game, and that'll bring the crowds back. So, I mean, I think Carlos is right. I mean, I think maybe we can build on them, because they've certainly been a disappointment this season. So there's got to be a bit more hype about them next season, you'd hope.
Look, at the end of the day, Harry wasn't even injured as much as we thought. The groin wouldn't last for half the season, so he made it through very, very well. He can play. He showed us that he can move that ball around, and he can set up plays, and he probably didn't finish as well by his own reckoning as he would have liked to, but he got himself into really good spots. And I just think I'm looking forward to the victory next season, because I just think they have to go up another level anyway, and I think everyone wants to see Harry Kewell in a team that goes to the next level.
Oh, look, I just hope Harry Kewell plays as well as he did this year. Because he's no youngster anymore. You can't expect him to keep on going to the next level at the age he has with all the injuries he's had in the past. Liverpool wrecked him many, many years ago. He hasn't been able to replicate what he did before that at Leeds. Liverpool just shattered his whole career. Pulled his groins were fantastic before Liverpool, and I don't know what happened over there, but they just ripped them apart.
What's your excuse, Carlos?
And so it's taken this long to come back and actually try to get his career together. And good on him. He might go to the next level, but it won't be too much higher. But it's great to have him in the league, and all the attention, all the mainstream attention is great for the league.
Yeah, look, Liverpool don't need Harry Kewell to wreck them. They're doing a very, very good job at the moment of doing that themselves. Well, boys, that's a hot topic. So we're all in agreement that Harry Kewell and Brett Emerton, the experiment has been fantastic and has really worked for the Hyundai A-League. Warren?
No.
Vinny?
Yes, of course.
Carlos?
Exactly right. We didn't talk much about him, maybe. He's been fantastic too.
He's that quiet achiever and doing well. He's still, next year it's going to be even better for him, I reckon, as well. So that's the Four Diegos hot topic this time. Until next time, ole!